Bombshell in F1, stop what you're doing right now. Because what happened in Bahrain today may have changed Formula One forever. Ferrari showed up to preseason testing with a device so insane, so audacious, that every single engineer in the paddock stopped dead in their tracks. And while everyone was losing their minds over Maranello's secret weapon, Mercedes quietly went out and set the fastest time of the day. This is chaos. This is F1, and you're getting the full story right now. But first, drop it in the comments below. Who's faster in that Ferrari, Hamilton or Leclerc? Let's go. Alright, let's set the scene. Bahrain International Circuit, day 5 of preseason testing. The sun is brutal, the engineers are maxed out, the stopwatches are out, and Ferrari walked onto that track like they own the place. Because honestly, right now, they just might. Here's what went down. Ferrari rolled the SF26 onto the track with Lewis Hamilton behind the wheel. Normal enough, right? Except, wait, something is different about that rear wing. Something very, very different. Engineers from rival teams grabbed their binoculars. Cameras zoomed all the way in because Ferrari bolted on an inverted rear wing, or a device that doesn't open like the old DRS system we've known for years. No. This thing rotates. The upper flap physically rotates to slash aerodynamic drag on the straights and launch the car to speeds we've never seen before. Hamilton only ran 5 laps with it. 5. But those 5 laps were enough to send shockwaves through every single garage on the pit lane. Ferrari boss Frédéric Vasseur didn't even try to hide the ambition. He stood in front of the cameras and basically said, "Yeah, we're betting everything." His vibe? Taking risks is part of the DNA of our sport. You have to be bold technically if you want to win. And then he said, "We'll see in Melbourne where we stand." Melbourne, the season opener. He's already thinking about race day. People, this is not a team in survival mode. This is a team hunting a championship. And one more thing about Hamilton that you absolutely cannot ignore. During the race start simulation, Lewis's launch off the line was described as absurdly fast. So fast that Ferrari is reportedly still protesting any potential changes to the start procedure. This man came to Ferrari to win, period. But here's the plot twist nobody saw coming. While Ferrari was stealing every headline with its sci-fi rear wing, an 18-year-old kid calmly walked out of the Mercedes garage strapped into the W17, which, by the way, has been described as looking like a tank of war, and just went fastest. Kimi Antonelli, 1 minute, 32 seconds, 803 thousandths. Fastest time of the day. The teenager who replaced a 7-time world champion just casually topped the timesheet in Bahrain like it was the most normal thing in the world. Mercedes ran a full race simulation and a fast qualifying lap on the same day. Their technical program was described by people in that paddock as absolutely enviable. Toto Wolff came in quiet, said nothing loud, and put his team's name at the top of the board. And hey, if you're loving this breakdown, if you want to stay ahead of every twist and turn before the Melbourne GP, do me a favor right now, hit that like button. Seriously, it takes half a second and it helps the channel keep bringing you content like this every single week.
We're building the best F1 community on YouTube, and you are a huge part of that. Now, back to the action, because it is getting insane. Let's talk about the reigning world champion, because Max Verstappen did something today that should scare every single person on this grid. 139 laps. Max Verstappen completed 139 laps around the Bahrain circuit today. That is an absurd amount of mileage. That is a driver and a team that are absolutely locked in and fully committed. His best lap, 1 minute 33.1. Good enough for third on the board. But the lap time almost doesn't matter. What matters is the race simulation data. Verstappen's pace over the long stints was described as strong, consistent, and error-free. The RB22 has serious straight-line speed and energy management that is making rival engineers nervous. The only concern Max raised? Tire behavior. He said the rubber is extremely sensitive and there's still a lot of analysis to do. But here's the thing. When Max Verstappen tells you his one concern is tires, what he's really saying is that everything else on that car, flawless. And then there's McLaren, the reigning constructors' champions, the team that won the title last year and walked into 2025 like they have absolutely nothing to prove, because they really don't. Oscar Piastri finished second today, just 58 thousandths of a second behind Antonelli. 58 thousandths! That's nothing. That's a fraction of a blink. McLaren combined for 855 kilometers in a single day. The race simulations with different tire compounds and different fuel loads were described as perfectly consistent. Technical director Neil Holdy came out and said, "The package is competitive." In McLaren language, that means we are coming for everybody. Now let's talk about the underdog story quietly developing in Bahrain. And it involves a Brazilian kid that the whole country is watching closely. Gabriel Bortoleto and Audi. Look, Audi is a brand new constructor. Nobody expects them to be fighting for wins in 2025. Everybody knows that. But here's what's interesting. Day by day, the R26 keeps getting more competitive, more reliable, and more consistent. Today, Bortoleto had a shorter session because of adjustments the team needed to make on the car. But his teammate Nico Hülkenberg went out in the afternoon, put in 73 laps, and ended up 7th overall. 7th for a brand new team. That is not nothing. That is a statement. And Bortoleto was measured and professional afterward, which tells you everything about his mentality. He said the team did a great job getting the car ready for the afternoon simulation and that the data collected is going to be crucial for the season opener. This kid has ice water in his veins. Keep your eyes on him this season. Seriously. And now, the part of today's story that is genuinely concerning. Because not everything in Bahrain was fast laps and celebration. Aston Martin is in trouble. Real trouble. The AMR26 has one of the most innovative designs on the grid this year. Adrian Newey is involved. And when Adrian Newey picks up his pen, you pay attention. But design alone doesn't win races. Reliability wins races. And right now, Aston Martin has none. Fernando Alonso, two-time world champion, one of the greatest drivers in F1 history, was out on track running a race simulation when his car just stopped dead. Honda power unit failure, done. Session over. The team confirmed the power unit as the cause, and Alonso couldn't return to the track for the rest of the day. He completed just 58 laps, the lowest number of any driver who ran in both sessions. And across these last 2 days of testing in Bahrain, Aston Martin has covered only 660 kilometers, the least of any team. With Melbourne right around the corner, that is a massive, massive problem. Alonso said it himself. There are many things we need to fix, and you can hear the frustration behind every single word. So here's where we stand. Ferrari being bold with technology that could rewrite the rulebook. Mercedes quietly dominant. McLaren dangerously consistent. Verstappen being Verstappen. Audi surprising everybody. And Aston Martin running out of time. The most unpredictable F1 season in years is about to begin. Melbourne is coming, and nobody knows who's going to win.